Ladies and gentlemen, how you all doing? This is Con
And
Ulrich.
I'm Ringru. Hello, hello, hello.
And folks, we hope you've had a lovely holiday weekend. We are here actually on Slutsk East, I believe. Slutsk East or Slutsk West? Well, we're on Slutsk. And we're with another SD2 League play from Division 1. Rang, who do we have and what are they bringing?
On the left-hand side in blue, we have AmberT playing 20th Panzer with a Vanguard income. And the right-hand side in red, we have Gnef playing 3rd US Armored Division, also with a Vanguard income.
So folks, as you guys can see right here, both decks are looking to have really just A-B presence, not really looking to go hardcore late game into it. Kind of understandable. I mean, both guys over here definitely want to make that early impact, make some influence, be a power player early.
Yeah, you want to commit a lot of violence early on so you don't have to commit it later.
Exactly. And as kind of standard down here, we will see down to the south. Yes, there's some small, minimal play that's going on here. Actually, wait a second. This is more than we usually see. It's an M8 Scott opening. Wow.
Yeah, that is, you never see a Scott. Like, it's usually not a raw unit, but it's nice seeing it being used. There we go, backed up with the Stuarts to give it a bit of high explosive fire support power, so that's an interesting little push icon. He's got the half tracks barreling down the road. He's going to get to the other side.
Yes, he is, and it's actually mildly impressive because usually you just see like an anti-tank gun and machine gun over here to the left-hand side. You can see already. Yes, he's paid the piper in terms of that Jeep, but big stinking deal. There's 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
And this MG42 is going to get blown. The entire southern part of the map is going to get blown apart.
Yeah, that's going to be another easy flag under Gnef's control. And those armored rifles are fantastic for defense because they do have those bazookas, and there's a lot of panzers for him to bazook.
Well, indeed, there's actually a P3L being brought on in 1410. And I guess I kind of didn't really think about how powerful an early Scott would be.
Same. That's...
I guess, okay, so one thing too. So the way he's got this set up a little bit as well, he's got the stewards that are just barely closer, which is going to make it a little bit more target acquisition for the anti-tank guns usually. They'll shoot for the stewards first.
Yeah.
And I think the increased HE from the Scott is going to kind of over time do way more damage. So.
Yeah. And it's only 25 points to Scott, which I always forget, which is GP on a tank. And the HE gun's not fantastic, it's not the highest fire rate or anything, but it does have a lot of machine guns because it's American.
Indeed. I do want to take a quick look up here to the north. North is going to get bogged down a little bit, but I imagine we'll actually see a lot more play over here in the south, which is about stinking time.
Yeah.
But both of these divisions are uniquely qualified to be that aggressive in the open.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we have 20th Panzer of the single Beutel IS-2 and 3rd US Armored, of course, with the fat old jumbo tank, so interesting to see if we're going to see an early jumbo. We're seeing an early M4A176 up north, but yeah, just more Panzer IIIs on AmberT side.
Interesting. We have a super early MGMC being brought out over here. That's basically the quad-mounted M2s. All in all, that is a little bit farther north than I would have expected. I think I would have expected a little bit further, more to the central side of things,
Yeah,
but
more coverage.
yeah, but I guess at the same time, having things like the P4 F1 there with the super up gun 75,
Yeah.
probably could cause some hassles.
We are seeing a push in the center position, however, as Gnef is trying to route out some Stas trooping in this farm.
And it's curious, because actually I didn't really think about this, but the Stas Truppen are really not who you want on the front lines.
Yeah, especially in a more open... Okay, I can kind of see putting them here, but now the recon changes, you can actually spot them before having to barrel guys towards them.
Sorry,
So...
JU-87 to the south, dropping carpet.
Oh, here we go.
And
What
apparently he lost that coin flip.
Wow, that was... I guess it's so small it just dodged the clusters.
We'll tell you what he doesn't dodge. That Stewart won't dodge a P3 shot.
Oh, it's a boy to Stalin, I believe.
Oh, was it? Oh, that might have been him.
Yeah,
You're absolutely right.
You definitely cannot judge... You definitely cannot miss Stalin.
P51 has ruined his chance at the Junkers. That's gonna limp on out. And the armored rifles down here are just gonna get blown to shreds until maybe the bazooka. No, bazooka's not gonna get there either.
Oh.
So we'll check back in on the armor rifle here in just a second. P-51 and an ME-109 are going to get into a turning fight, but with the second ME-109, it looks like the P-51's probably going to go down.
Yeah, and also the second one does have the high veterancy, which is going to help out a lot in a dogfight. But we've got another P-51 here, so both sides engaging pretty heavy in air power, and there we go. One shrift kill. Oh, and the second ME-109 hasn't dropped his bombs yet, so he's going to be a slow bugger, and that's going to get him killed.
Yeah. Speed saves, man. Speed definitely saves there.
Yeah, those P-51s are some of the best fighters in game, just due to how goddamn fast they are. And they only have medium agility, but it's not terrible when you go 680 kilometers an hour. And
so I know I want to definitely look back to the north, but look to the south real quick. There were a number of reinforcements that were going to go to those armored rifles.
Yep.
And you can see the smoking husks all along Hell's Highway there. So literally, I think something like 40 or 50 points of infantry has just been lost between bazookas and actually more than that.
Yeah, even
armored rifles.
The armored rifles are only 20 points. Like really good for 20 points because you got a goddamn bazooka and you semi-automatic rifles.
But yeah.
Yeah, and 25 because of the half track. Yeah, that's not that bad. You just have terrible availability because you're an armored division. But you get bazookas, and I mean you can solve a lot of problems with a bazooka.
I'm looking elsewise or elsewheres. P-51 going after half track. There we go. Nice little easy kill. And when all is said and done, I mean 16-8. Let's not kind of take this away from the fact that Gnef is putting on a ton of pressure here in the central and southern position.
Yeah, and that's going to work really well for him, just getting out. I think he's not going to hold on for it for much longer, but still, it's going to take AmberT time and resources to try and route out the southern side. And you're also going to see a bit more aggression up north here from Gnef here. Moving up some armoured rifles and a lot of armour, and more armoured rifles. And AmberT does have a pretty good defense, honestly. He has a lot of Panzergrens, lots of Panzers, with the Grens, machine guns, all of that stuff.
Well, and let's call a spade here. Calling this the Stuart armor is kind of misleading. And I say that with all the possible respect, but like, there's P4s, and I know technically the Stuart can pierce that, but there's a lot of veterancy in there. What's that? There's 6 Iron Crosses there. Like, that's not going to go well. And when you have a Shrek in the area too, like, that was dumb.
Yeah.
But up to the north, we're going to see another Shrek actually probably get some usage here.
Oh no, he gets.
Oh no.
Oh no! Oh, the north and north run, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
But otherwise, yeah, we're seeing the Stuarts and all of that machine gun fire just absolutely knifing through the northernmost approach. No more Shrek. The P-Grens are getting torn to pieces. And the south is stabilized for AmberT. But I wouldn't say his chances have really improved greatly at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, we do have the AT gun down south, which is going to be able to pick off a Panzer Grenadier, maybe. Yeah, he goes. That's going to slow down any advances. Now, I mean, Gnef doesn't have much in terms of defense down south, but AmberT's going to bring up infantry or recon and spot the stuff before actually going in and capturing the flags.
A desperate throw of reinforcement, 2 IG-18s, P-Grens in the P3s, recon and otherwise, will probably stymie this northern outbreak, or at least for the time being, but the Stuarts are being knifed in. This is going to be interesting.
Yep.
I would not want to engage from this stinking bridge. I would feel that that's a fatal funnel of sorts here.
Yeah, and those Stuarts are not really good in anti-tank work. You have a light anti-tank gun, of course, but also that light anti-tank gun is pretty slow firing.
Mm-hmm. But hey, if you get a lucky kill here, I mean,
oh wow, here we go.
Certainly assert himself.
H-18, get the revenge. Oh, I think he's just shooting something else. There we go.
Well, great Scott in the morning. It's time to back up. I would not be that Scott and be quite so aggressive here. I admire such gumption, but yeah. Yeah.
Got the off-map coming in, some 155 mils.
Looking over here at the American side of things, there should have been a lot of mortars over here possible, and I like seeing the rocket artillery from both sides. We have a Verframen over here in B, as well as a Calliope over from the Americans. I'm not sure we're going to see either one of those, but it would be rather fun.
Yeah, rocket artillery definitely does have kind of a place in SC2. As long as it's not really Katusha. But especially on a map like this, in the town fights, they can be pretty useful in stressing out a bunch of stuff. And also off-map artillery, of course, is also extremely useful, as we're seeing. Is that 155mm? Does not mess about, Khan. That's a lot of explosives.
You know, and it's nice to see that HE has its day. So often we just see this kind of blind barrage just kind of barely hit something, slightly freaks people out. But there certainly is that dominance over here right now. As the second barrage starts coming down, if you can pressure back the P4s, this could be a rather terrifying place to be pretty quickly.
Yeah, those P4s are definitely one of the scarier defensive aspects here on AmberT side, but there we go. Some fantastic bombing runs, the off-map artillery coming through, as well as the 76mm Sherman. Yeah, it's a really good push here from Gnef. This is like full-on combined arms warfare.
And of course, it's not without losses, and I think we just lost the P-51 to ground fire. But
the
P4s are getting thrown back in disarray.
Yeah, and we got a bunch of martyrs being brought in. Four of them. Not a unit we see all that often, but I guess you need just any sort of anti-tank to demi its advance.
Well, these guys would definitely probably be my second choice. My first choice would be something more committed, like an actual anti-tank gun. Although I love the mobility of the Martyr.
Yeah, and just how funky it looks.
Oh, true.
German design of, hey, recaptured something French, let's put an anti-tank gun on top, because why not?
Well, I'm trying to just reset both from the German as well as the American views of this. And from the American side of things, I mean, I'm trying to think about where I would try to throw in more reinforcements. But, I mean, BAR rifles being thrown into the town, a couple more kind of consolidated in northern town. It makes sense. I just would think it would like to be a little bit more defensive with this M4A1. It's too dear to me. I would prefer not to lose it. Yes, sir.
Taking a lot of firepower.
Yes.
But yeah, he's got another one being brought in. I'm actually quite surprised you haven't seen a Jumbo yet, because Jumbo would work really well against 20th Panzer, because the only thing it can't reliably penetrate is the boy to Stalin, and he's all the way in the southern side of the map, so you don't really have to worry about him.
Last off map is going after this anti-tank position plus the 88. Jumbo, the newly arriving Jumbo goes down instantly.
Oh, wow. Oh, was that the 76?
Yes.
Yep.
Sorry, 76, not Jumbo.
Yep.
But even while that's happening, Hearth is in, as is another one of his 2-star companions. And they'll probably take out both his Stuart and the half-track that are sitting over here, but it's still 16-8. And while the Pioneers are going to skip the Northern Artillery, I don't know that anyone else is going to be that lucky.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty devastating hit. I mean, he's definitely going to kill a Flak 88, which is more than enough worthwhile in that barrage.
Well, and the Martyr's also going to be forced back here, too, so that's going to be rather successful. Stuart does go down, courtesy of the P4s. One Martyr goes down from the artillery. And the P-51s, yeah, P-51s are making the proper runs.
He's suppressed,
yeah.
Get him!
Well, and that's what it is. I mean, like, it's easy for us to kind of go and mock the rather short-lived part of the 88, but at least the 88 draws the appropriate amount of firepower.
Yeah, that's definitely a good call there from Gnef's side. As he's been using his air power pretty well so far, so trying to keep the enemy anti-aircraft net as small as possible will definitely allow him to keep using his aircraft, like, as we're seeing with all these bombing runs. Because once again, like, 20th Panzer doesn't have a lot of heavy armor, like relying on his Marder runs, Pack 43s really, for a lot of heavy anti-tank work. And you can blow him up with P-51 Mustangs with bombs.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, the curious thing is that I would have thought this would be much more 12-12-ish than what we have. It's 15-9.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a 53, 47 kind of breakout here. This is a +1 kind of idea, as you would see in the old SD-44. But it's really just this northern town being controlled, which is sealing the deal right now for Gnef.
Yeah, and there's just so many flags here. It's a very flag-rich environment to hold on to. I think this was pretty brilliant from Gnef, because he pushed pretty heavy down south early on with minimal resources. In AmberT, he had to spend a lot of resources capturing it. And while Gnef fell back from southern side, he just pulled everything up north and did a pretty effective attack here. I mean,
Side note, another Ju-87, it turns out there was a jumbo being brought on in as to the south. Unfortunately, he completely whiffs and only gets a Stuart for his trouble.
yeah. And boy, the Stalin, I mean, such a powerhouse unit, but it's in a position where he can't do anything.
And that's really going to be the major issue here, isn't it? It's that consistently the Pigrins don't have the proper anti-tank, the tanks don't have the proper infantry, and Hearth is going to die over here to Bazooka. So, Hero of the Reich notwithstanding, he is now Reich dead. So...
Yeah, for those issues, it's pretty historically accurate to the actual 20th Panzer. There's everything going wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another infantry push is being slated over here to the north, consolidating the position inside that town, which I kind of understand. But as of right now, I mean, this is Gnef's game to lose.
Yeah. He's just like really good use of the American firepower. I mean, Third Armored is a lovely deck because all of the units aren't super good. It's not, it's apart from the Jumbo. The Jumbo is fantastic, but you have enough firepower of everything for it to stand on its own two legs for a decent amount of time, and they all work in well together. Like Stuarts with half tracks, P-51s dropping bombs to cover for the heavier tanks. You got the mobile AA support. It's lovely. It's a lovely deck in terms of its just like synchronicity. If you catch my drift.
I do. I was just gonna call it it's a very consistent deck.
Yeah, it's nothing super fancy about it. It just works. It's good old American firepower and machine guns. Many machine guns.
Of course, the major downfall for it is that so much of the armor is rather under supported. Like we've seen the kind of same thing right now. You know, a 45-point Martyr is running roughshod over the Stuarts to the north.
Yeah. They do lack more heavier anti-tank capabilities because they only really have the 76mm Shermans. I believe you get some 76mm anti-tank guns as well, but I mean, if there's a King Tiger or Panther, if fighting them one-on-one's going to be a bit hard, but of course, combined arms firepower of air power and artillery to even the firepower. But there we go, AmberT's actually managing to bring it back to an 11-13. He's still, needs to get another flag somewhere. It seems like he might do it in the center, because he's got Stern Pioneers pushing on his M8 Spartan machine gun team. We're very close. Must be a good fringe.
Well, the Ju-87 is definitely going to take him out. And if not him, the M1919's just going to get shredded.
Yeah.
So a hole has been ruptured both in the middle and the south, or at least for the time being. Storm Pioneers are definitely going to take out the anti-tank gun. But first things first, yeah, the Ju-87's going to go down. I don't see any way he's going to make it out. Oh, and there was a Flak 43 there. Okay, I was trying to figure out where the heck this anti-air is coming from.
There we go. That's a pretty effective anti-tank, anti-aircraft gun. Yeah, down south it's working really well. Oh, look, it's Bazooka! Oh, I was expecting him to make the end run, jump out, and yeet the boy to Stalin, but that's not going to happen.
No, but you know what will happen with the P-51s dropping on the boy to Stalin and force it back at minimum? It might just do enough chip damage to take it out. He's been getting hit constantly.
Yeah.
So
he
not
takes
dead
those
yet.
bombs like a champ.
Well, no, I certainly hope so at this point.
But he's showing rear armor.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Oh my gosh, and the Sherman's going to be able to get... Okay, he's shooting at the P3. That's a very interesting
I think this forest is still kind of blocking line of sight. There we go. I do like how in tanks are completely stressed out and falling back. They just do the stupidest stuff. I mean, it kind of makes sense, but it also can be very annoying.
Oh yes, especially if
Yeah.
you own that tank.
Yeah. If
Well,
it's
it
the
just...
enemy's tank, not as annoying.
Oh no, at that point it's just like that's righteous. That's how it should
Yeah.
be. Kind of a unique factor. We're actually going to see an unsupported tank move over here on this northern town, and I kind of want to see how badly this goes.
Oh, it's probably going to go terribly, Khan. Look at those Panzer IVs all by themselves, and the Americans have bazookas. Well, only one bazooka in this case.
For the
Still,
moment, yes.
all you need is one. Or two, soon, with the bar.
Well, and I'm wanting to see if this 57 mil is being brought over here to the edge of the trees. Okay, so I'm sure Pioneers are finally getting brought. Oh, never mind. They're going to the north. This is still continues to be a very interesting push.
Mm-hmm.
By
Even
interesting,
though
I kind of mean
AmberT
nonsensical.
is getting completely like pushed in this match. He's striking back hard now in in C phase. I mean, Southern push has definitely slowed down because of the Stalin rink put, but his Northern push does have potential of the Stern Pioneers.
Potential, yes, but let's not read into it too much. There's
Yeah.
still a lot of armored rifles. The half track is there. There's just enough equipment to cause a hassle. One P4s, two P4s are down, excuse me. And this, I think the other one's going to run afoul of this engineer. I think there's going to be a satchel charge and then probably a surrender. Just that right now we have a P-Grun squad being rushed on in right into a bazooka shot coming right down the main drag. Now the thing is that if we look into C, AmberT does have that reinforcement card at both P4s as well as 27 P-Gruns.
Yeah.
So technically he can outlast the Americans.
But I don't think he's going to be given the chance.
And
there we
that's
go.
the
It's
issue.
the +2 coming in from Gnef. Just holding on to that northern side is going really well for him. And yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
But regardless, he's still throwing his panzers in with reckless abandon. And as might be expected, one by one, those brave sons of tankers just get taken on out. But hey, give that another 5-10 minutes, and I think he probably would have had it. But that earlier push just was absolutely just socked him in the mouth.
Yeah, that was just very good aggressive play from Gnef. Like, once again, hitting down south hard and then moving straight up north. And that combined arms push with the off-map artillery is mwah. That's how you push, guys. Your artillery, you move in half-track infantry to secure the front, you bomb the crap out of anything that's still alive, and then the tanks just give you a lot of firepower. That's how you do it.
It's the actual application of shock and awe, not just shockingly awful. So, I mean, that's how... That's how you... Okay, how often do we see that thing where it's kind of like, okay, let me artillery the front lines. My own troops are right there.
Yeah, that's happens often, or moving tanks and unsupported, or infantry unsupported. We see it's kind of often. But that was a really good push, and yeah, 1,000 rough KD difference between both, which is very standard for a 1v1.
It is, and we have a couple of standouts here and there. Most of these have some, a mix of ground kills between infantry and tanks, or armored vehicles. But the Stalin doing pretty well. Ju-87 getting 4 kills. I mean, a captured Zis basically getting a couple of light vehicles. Viliga getting some kills. By the same token, what was it over here? There's a couple of them. Oh, the off-map getting a few kills. Armored rifles. Nobody that's going to earn themselves an Iron Cross or Medal of Honor anytime soon, but regardless, solid play all around.
Yeah, I think that's fairly accurate.
Good. I'm happy to hear you say that. Any final thoughts to go along with that accuracy?
None today.
Well, folks, in that case, then, that means you got to come back over here on Thursday, when I think was it a Terrible Divisions tournament is rearing its head again on Thursday, isn't it?
Indeed it will, and it will be terrible.
Well, folks, in that case, then, come back for some Terrible Thursday plays. Until then, though, I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangaroo, take it easy.